In this video, I'm going to show you how to access String.online software. Basically, you can have access to the software online through a cell phone, a tablet, or even a notebook. All you need is have an internet access, and you open your browser and you type the address istring.online. Then you're going to have this home page where you type your username, which is basically your email address and your password. You click on the button login, and in case you have more access to more than one store, you choose the store you want to have access to. So in this case, it's the Wasamata demo. And basically, the layout is on the left side. You're going to have all the menu options like access to all your orders, to create a new order, all your customers, what kind of store you want to have access to, the admin section, which is basically to control all your products lines, and the users that you're going to have access to, like the sellers, the stringers, and so forth. And over here, you can choose the language that you want to visualize the system. Like we have Portuguese, English, and we're going to have other languages as well, like Spanish, Italian, and so forth. Okay, so basically, the software manages all the orders of your customers. So here we have the orders, the list of all the orders, and the top we have the status available, all the orders that are new, in progress, ready, or done. So once you click on the button, it displays all these services that are in the current status. So in this case, I'm trying to visualize all the orders that are new. You can filter the options, like for example, I want to see the order number 9. You click and it filters. Or let's say you would like to see all the orders from the customers that have the last name Ting, T-I-N-G, and then it shows to you. Okay, so basically, the orders, they have colors to represent the status. Whatever is in purple, it's new. In blue is in progress. Green is they are ready, and black it's done. Then we have all the buttons over here, which is basically this is to change the order to the status. You want to change the order status. You want to duplicate the order, or delete the order, or even access the order. Okay, you can access either by clicking on these links on the order number or in the arrow icon over here. Okay, so let's access order number 6. And basically at the top we have the order number, the status of the order, the customer's name, the total value for this order, the invoice, where the order was created, the location, if you have a seller. So in case you want to keep track of the total amount of commission you have to pay for the seller, this is a cool functionality. The total services, so here's like 4 rackets to be strung. It can be tennis racket, it can be squash racket, badminton racket. The total amount of products that your customer purchased, the date that the order was created, and the due date. Okay, so basically an order, it has all these tabs: the order overview, the services, the invoice, the log, which keeps track of what the user did, and if we click over here, we go to the customer page where you have all the information. So here in the order overview, each order, they also have their own status, which is very similar to the order status. So this is a racket, it's new, it's the string job is new, is waiting to be started. Blue means the racket is being strung by the stringer. Green means the racket service is already done, it's ready. And black is it was delivered to the customer. Okay, so here we have all the information. On service number 10 is a tennis racket, Wilson Clash 100 Tour, and you're supposed to string it with Yonex Polytour Fire. It has all the info, the thickness of the string, the tension, if there's any pre-stretch, and so forth. So let's click here. You can either access the service by clicking on the button of the service ID number, or by clicking here on the edit button, or you can even click on the tab services and click on the button of the service that you want to check it out. So let's go on, let's add a new service. Service number here is ID number 35, and once you click on it, you see all the information. So on the left side, we have the service ID number, we have the status of the service, the due date, and the current status. So you can say, oh, I started to do the string job, I finished the string job, and the customer came over to pick it up, or you deliver it to it. Okay, so let's go back to new. Here, if you want to type in any observation, you can type it in and save. If you want to print out the labels, if you want to duplicate the service, so for example, the customer came over with 2 rackets and he wants the same string job. So you basically create this string job, and once you have all set up, you just press the button copy service. And so let's go ahead and fill it out. So you click here on the button. It can be either on the number or on the button with the name of the section. So the numbers here basically represent visual identification here on the right. So number 1 is for the racket model, number 2 is for the strings on the mains and the crosses, number 3 is the type of the string job, which I'm going to show to you one at a time. So let's click on the racket, and here it has all the brands for the rackets that are registered in the catalog. In case you don't see one, you can update it, you can add your own. So let's click on Wilson, and basically once you start choosing the options, here on this section is going basically to show you all the options for the autocomplete, and at the bottom these are the actual record models available. So it's a Wilson Clash, so we can press the button Clash, and then you can see over here it starts to show only the Wilson Clash models, and I want to choose Wilson Clash 100 Tour, the 16x19 string pattern. So we click on it, and then the next option is what's the collar, so standard collar, and what's the grip size of the racket that you need to do the string job. So in my case is of L3, and you click the button save, and you can see that the brand and the model of the racket is already being displayed over here. So let's go for the mains. Usually I string with Waist Cannon Red Ghost, so I chose Waist Cannon, and the model I'm going to try to do the autocomplete over here, Red Ghost 17L 1.18, the thickness. So I choose on it, is the color red, and my tension is 46 pounds. So you can choose pounds or kilos, and this is for the pre-stretch. We can be manual, which is no pre-stretch, 5%, 15, and so forth. All right. So another functionality over here that's really nice is if the strings on the mains and the crosses, they're going to be the same brand and model and the same tension. Instead of doing one at a time, you can apply the same setup for the mains and the crosses by pressing on this button. So let's press on it. It asks you for confirmation. I say yes. And then all the setup is both for the mains and the crosses. Here on the instructions, stringing instructions, is already by default the option 4 knots, and the time for the string job is at any time. Okay. So if your store you want to set it up a different default configuration, you just let us know and we'll set it up for you. Then these are the other options in case the customer wants it to be on this on his racket, like he wants a dampener, or this racket already came with a dampener, so we have to make sure that we deliver to the customer with the dampener that it came with. So over here you can choose the brand and the model of the dampener and so forth. And the same applies if you want a stencil on the racket. Okay, so you want to do a stencil of the brand of the racket, or if you want to do a stencil of the brand of the strings, and these are the options that you choose. And if there's any custom job, like for example he wants to change the weight, the swing weight, or the balance, so you can click over here and fill it out, what's the configuration and the setup that he wanted. And the labor, so basically these are all the people that register in this company as the stringers, okay, and also the stringing machine. This is all customized according to your store. And the delivery, if it's going to be picked up at the store, if you're going to deliver to another address, and also in case you need to deliver the record on court. So let's press here the button on court, and once you press it, it shows the flag on court. If you want to change the due date, basically go here to the delivery button and you change the date. So let's say this is for September 5th. You save it, and here you see the due date is on the 5th, and since the system monitors all the services, the due dates, and it displays here for the order due date, the date that is the most recent, like to be the actual due date over here, okay? So as you can see, as you press the buttons for each service, it's going to show you the information for that racket. And another option that we have over here is the invoice. So let's say that this customer is having 5 string jobs. So over here, there's already 1 string job added. Let's add another one. Or you can press over here and type 5, and it updates information. So let's let's add another store labor. And in this case, let's say is a store labor, right? So we click on the button add new item to invoice. We choose the category labor, and it's from the brand your own store, which in this case the store name is called Wasamara. We choose the option Wasamara string labor. There's no colors for this type of product, so it's not applicable. And over here you choose what kind of labor. And in this case, I registered under sizing. So you can choose either the store labor or the tournament labor or any other custom labor that you choose to create for your store. So why would you have 2 types of labor? Because when you have tournament labor, you have to take all your equipment to the location of the tournament, so you're going to charge a higher fee to take into account all your travel expenses. So let's add over here tournament labor, and we add it. And you're going to see the tournament labor here is 20, the value. So I can add 4 more, so it matches with the total amount of services that is being done, which is 5. So basically, afterwards, when the customer, let's say all the services are ready, okay? So instead of you going one by one and change it to delivered, like I'm doing over here, you can go to the order and change the status to done. So you can press here the button on the icon to edit the order status. We click on it, and it shows that this order already have services. The only possibility is to change it to done. So if we do this and we change it to done, all the orders, all the services, they are changed to delivered, and the order is changed to done. So once an order is done, you cannot edit anymore, okay? And in case you need to change it, you're going to have like an admin access to actually change the order to another status. So let's say that the customer came over to pick it up, so the order is all done, and he needs to pay for all these string jobs, and it costs 100. So you can click here on the customer tab, and then it's going to access Peter Ting's account. And it has very different tabs. I'm going to show you all of them. So in this case, I'm going to start showing the finance. So this customer had a total invoices, of all the invoices, orders that he had, there's a total amount of 152. He has been already paid 80, and the total pending is 22. So for example, the customer gave you a check, and the check is for next month or so. So the software monitors if on that date you change the status to paid or not. And here we have the total remaining, which is 50. So, but then you said, oh, but that order, the value was 100. So if you click over here on the tab orders, you're going to see that the order number 6 he had that total value of the invoice for 100, which had 5 string jobs and 5 labors added to the order, and the order is already done. So it keeps track of all of this. And if your customer paid, so let's say he needs to pay 50 as the remaining amount, you can click over here, add new payment, 50, and let's say he paid by credit card, he paid today. You check on here in the option pending or paid and click on the button save. So here it is, payment ID number 10, the status is paid, 50 the value, and the date September 4th. So let's say that the check that the customer gave it to you on its due date is on the September 4th, which in this case on the video is the current date, September 4th. You can see it over here. So let's say you checked your account and you said, yep, it's paid. So you can click over here and say, yep, it's paid, and the system updates all the financial status for your customer. Over here on the other tab we have profile, so you can have the customer's gender, the name, last name, date of birth in case you want to do some kind of email marketing later on, the address and so forth. Here you have all the orders information, the total orders that he has so far, how many records he had at the string jobs, all the products that he has purchased, and one of the best functionalities that we're going to have is the overview. So here in the overview, which at the moment is not working, but eventually we're going to have this functionality for all the stores, is you can keep track of all the orders, services, products, invoices, and the payments for your customer and for the store. So in this case, since I'm visualizing the customer's information, it's telling me that this customer, that's the total amount of orders he did the last month, the total orders that he has so far for this month, and the average. And then we have, we crossed information for other variables, right? Like for the year, the total amount of orders this month versus last month, and so forth. Okay, so this is very nice. You can have even a report on what is the average ticket price for your customer. So if you know the average is 245, you know if you can call your customer and try to convince him to come over to your store and buy new products. Okay. So this is basically what the software does, and of course, in order to have all these functionalities for you to use, we have the other sections here, which is the customers, where you register all your customers. And then this is where you create all the your products, the catalog items. Like for example, I want to see all the tennis rackets that I have registered by Yonex. So we type it over here, brand Yonex, and here is showing all the tennis rackets that you have. So how you create a product, how do maintenance for the products is going to be on another video. So this video is basically for you to check it out, how you can monitor your orders and have all the information in a single click and available online. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Bye bye.